Welcome back to the Week 5 recap, Week 6 matchup here. Let's go over last week. Let's just get right to it here. DeMartiac arrest versus rebuilding season. And these aren't facts because I don't remember who I picked, but I'm pretty sure I took rebuilding season just because I believed in him. And maybe that's where I went wrong because it's 118-96. DeMartiac arrest won that particular one, and it really wasn't even. It was pretty much a landslide. So it looks like Will's going to get back, or DeMartiac arrest is going to get back to right where he's supposed to be. And Mitchell in rebuilding season, you're still have a winning record. So I don't know where you go from here. Really, just brief recap. Looking through here. Let's see where Will really struck it rich. Drake London had a lot more points than he was supposed to. Brock Bowers had a big week. Other than that, you just had a pretty solid lineup, and they had their regular weeks, which put you at 115. And then, if I'm looking at Michelle, here. Your Dak had 1 point better. Chuba Hubbard had more points. Really, your kicker did okay. You came up with 96 points. You just fell short. Honestly, it was a terrible week. You would have only beat, looks like 2 teams on the week. 2 teams, yeah. So, anyway, Mitchell, it's not your fault. You know what I mean? You started a job again, and we all know that when you start working, you really put your heart and soul into it. Let me shut this door because I don't know if you can hear all this background noise. But I know that you put your heart and soul into everything you do, Michelle. And so when you get a job, you don't start texting and you don't show up at Cody's house anymore or whatever you do, because I know you're a really committed guy. So I think you're gonna have to quit your job if you're gonna excel at fantasy, because it's not good. Now we're looking at Willie Nelson versus Downtown Brown. This particular one, I think I took Downtown Brown on this one, as I remember, and it's pretty much a landslide. I got to glance over here because it's in relation to where my camera's at. Lamar Jackson scored a lot more than he was supposed to. DeAndre Swift had a solid week. Kareem Hunt came out of nowhere. Ayuk had a big week. I mean, pretty much you just rolled across the entire roster. Isaiah Likely had a big week. Broncos defense. Like the fact that, I know you're a Broncos fan. Broncos typically suck. I don't even know how they pulled it out, but you did at 133. Willie Nelson, you didn't have a terrible week either. You would have beat everybody but like 2 other people, real quick. 3 other people. You just went up against a giant this week, and there's nothing you can do about that. Love was less than, Brees Hall less than, Alvin Kamara less than. You'd have DJ Moore do something, and George Kittle came back. Vikings defense is pretty solid, and Butker kicked good. It was just, you just fell short. It's 133-107. So you're 1-4. Willie Nelson, Downtown Brown, you're 2-3. I just see you being at 500 at best. It's okay. Just like the Broncos, you fall in line with your favorite team. Then we play Rusty Buckets of Dookie. Now, Rusty did change his name, and I see why. But Rusty, you pulled off a victory. You were 1-4. And you beat Bye Week, who, Bye Week, I can't speak enough volumes about Bye Week. He's real good at fantasy. So, Rusty, you beat a solid opponent to become 1-4. Bye Week as 2-3. And I don't know, man. Geno Smith, your quarterback, big time guy. He scored a lot more than he was supposed to. T. Higgins, Chase Brown had big weeks for you. You amounted to 102-98. You beat Bye Week. Good for you. Rusty, you got on the board. I didn't think you get a win this season, but you're proving everybody wrong. It's got to start somewhere, and there's plenty enough games left. And so if you're really looking at it, I don't know. What do we got? 16, 17 games. I mean, in theory, you could be 13-4. Golly, bro. That's good. You're good, Rusty. You got a lot of, however the playoffs work, you can be something like that. Red Nuts versus Mixing the Sauce. Red Nuts is 4-1. Mixing the Sauce 2-3. I mean, you have a lot of potential there. Kyler Murray did good for you. To be honest, I think the rest of your roster kind of sucked outside of Justin Tucker. Didn't meet the standard in which the projection said. But Red Nuts, James Cook beat his projection by 2. Rico Dowdle beat it by 9. Daryl Mooney, where'd that guy come from? He came out of nowhere. He scored a lot of points last week at 22. Your Commanders' defense more than they're supposed to, and your kicker. So, I mean, that's how your lineup shaped up there, Red Nuts. And then let's see, what do we got here? Wrecking Crew versus Tatanka Blanco. Let's see. I think my internet went out. What's it look like? It looks like Tatanka Blanco did lose, but the only reason I lost 2 things. He put in a cheat code, up, down, left, right, BA select, start, and we all know that's good for 30 points or 30 lives if you're playing Contra, and that's what he did. So he jumped up really fast on Thursday Night Football last week. He really got a jump start on that. And the rest of it, I could have beat him, but I pulled some players on purpose. I just felt bad for his mom because I'd talked about her previous, and I know she was just trying to get back or whatever. And I'm like, look, I've been married 20 years. I don't got time to deal with you anymore. Like, you're gonna have to go away. And I was like, I tell you what, just because I feel bad because I'm letting you down. I let her son win, and it's not that big a deal, guys. I'd do it for your mom's too. And so I don't know the score. It looked like he just barely won. I get the internet went out. Let's just move to the next week, guys. If we're going to, we don't want to talk about this kid's mom. She's a shrimp boat captain. Everybody knows it. So week 6. Let's go to the matchups here. Tatanka Blanco versus rebuilding season. Now Mitchell, he's not good. He plays fantasy just about as good. He's not as healthy as I am. Like, I am way more healthy. I do diet and exercise. He doesn't do diet and exercise. I haven't eaten a carb in at least 8 or 9 years, and it shows, you know what I mean? And he eats lots of carbs, I think, so he's probably not going to win. It does look like Tatanka Blanco. It looks like, I can't really see because I'm dyslexic, so I don't know if I'm 3-2 or 2-3. I think I'm probably having a winning season. You don't ever know, but playing rebuilding season, he looks like he's 3-2. So this is a strong year for Mitchell. He's finally rebuilt his team, and even if he ends up having a losing record, he's way rebuilt his team from previous, because he would be like 0-5 right now. But just looking at it, I don't actually see player projections on this. What am I looking at? Week 6 review or whatever, matchup board. I don't see the player projections, but I know Josh Allen's been a little down. He's under the weather. It's not his fault. That probably COVID-19 is real big in New York. Everybody's wearing masks and all that. So if he wears a mask, he's good for about 20 points on Monday Night Football. But if he's not wearing a mask, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because masks keep him real safe. And so it looks like Tatanka Blanco is projected at 88-79. Rebuilding season 79, so that's a solid projection. If I'm just doing the math on that, the way it's calculated, but when you do like the professional math to that, I think I beat rebuilding season. What's that say? 88-79. I probably beat him 106-74 this week. It's going to be a bad week for rebuilding season. He picked up Trey Sermon. He's going big. Trey Sermon is a big time player. And if I'm just being real here, Mitchell's roster looks pretty good. I do have Deontay Johnson coming back. Tatanka Blanco does. We'll just see. I got big name players. Tank Dell is big time this week, I believe, because Nico Collins is out. So there's just a lot of reasons why he's gonna lose. Cul-de-sac kid's out. He's not gonna be good, and that's it. Let's move to the next game. Willie Nelson versus Shit Buckets. Willie Nelson, or Rusty Buckets of Dookie. Willie Nelson versus Rusty Buckets of Dookie. Willie Nelson, you're 1-4. Oh, gosh. Look, this is a big-time matchup, guys. This is a matchup people have been waiting for. We got 2 1-4 teams. I mean, solid teams. You guys are the most solid 1-4 teams that I know. People are talking about all over the country, like, man, I can't wait till Willie Nelson and Rusty Buckets, when they match up, it's going to be big time. They probably got Vegas lines on this. Projections is 99 for Willie Nelson. Rusty Buckets is 93. I'm going to be honest. This one's tough to call because they're both not really good at fantasy, but they could be good. Guys, you can be good. I want to think positive thoughts here. You know what I mean? You guys are the future of fantasy. And you got to start somewhere. And one day, I think you guys will branch out and start your own leagues, probably with kids, maybe elementary school kids. And I feel like you got a shot when you do that. But, as the kids grow and they get older, and then once they start playing fantasy their whole life, they're going to beat you again. So you're going to have to start new leagues with other little kids. It's the only way you're going to win. So 99-93, honestly, I think Willie Nelson takes this. This is hands down. The total, I don't know. You guys are going to average about 15 points apiece. I think final score on this matchup is probably 45-27. I'm taking Willie Nelson on that one. Downtown St. Brown and DeMartiac arrest. Now this one, this has playoff implications written all over it. And I mean all over it. Big time playoff implications here. Downtown St. Brown coming in at a solid 2-3 record. DeMartiac arrest coming in at a solid 3-2 record. DeMartiac arrest, you're projected 112. Downtown St. Brown projected 95. DeMartiac arrest, you're starting Jaden Daniels. Who would have thought that week one? Nobody. Drake London, if he does what he did last week, apparently Will's got a lineup. He's got somebody to mess with. The Mardiak arrest is serious. In downtown St. Brown, I know you had a couple wins after you had a loss, and then you were feeling real confident about yourself, saying, I'm coming back, but you still have a losing record, and you're still not going to beat Will this week. I think Will beat you by 20, and I don't know what to tell you. It's really a bad deal. I don't even have a tip to even help you out. I don't even know what you could do. Sell the team to Brad. You guys are Denver fans. Figure it out. So next we have Mixing the Sauce. By the way, is Brad still the moderator or the mediator? Moderator? Is he still that guy? Brad, are you still out there? Are you still looking for a team? Oh, well, whatever, man. So we got Mixing the Sauce versus bye week. I'm actually calling this the snoozer of the week because right now you're like, well, why wouldn't Willie Nelson and Rusty Buckets? Because they're both huge losers and everybody knows it, and somebody's about to win. And that's why it's a big-time matchup for those two. This one's just a snoozer game. Ross bye week, he's in most of the snoozer weeks. Mixing the Sauce, he has a lot of potential. He has in the past. He's also tanked some years. I mean, for a guy, I think he's like, I'd have to go look, but Mixing the Sauce, you're either way up here or you're way down there. I don't recall you being in the middle too much. And this year, it's not looking solid for you, though your roster looks good. But I don't know if Mixon's still playing. He's questionable. I have no idea. Trey McBride, preseason, they're like, oh, you got to pick this tight end up. He's awesome. I guess. I mean, I have him in some leagues. I think he's not good. Over here on bye week side, you're starting Ramondre Stevenson and Tyler Algier. That alone right there tells me that bye week, sorry you lose this week. And the projection, by the way, is 102-83, which lets you know right there it's probably going to be a landslide anyway. We all know projections don't mean anything unless they're really big, and that's a really big one. Ross, you lose that one this week. Sorry to hurt your feelings. That's what it is. Next, we have Red Nuts and Wrecking Crew versus Red Nuts. Now, if you guys were listening, right now you're mad that I didn't call you Game of the Week. The most exciting matchup in town by far is Rusty versus Willie Nelson. That is a big one. And I mean a big one, guys. But this week, this epic matchup called Wrecking Nuts this week. Wrecking Crew, you're projected 97. Red Nuts 106. Ooh, that alone is scary. The projection. They have no faith in Wrecking Crew. And to be honest, Wrecking Crew, I don't recall the score last week. It's not really that big a deal. I think he did beat me, but it was just barely for that I remembered. And but he's undefeated, but also got lucky. This should have been a 4-1 matchup across the board. But no, Wrecking Crew is the remaining undefeated guy. And based on that and his lineup, looking at your lineup, I don't know how you're undefeated. I really don't know how you're undefeated. It's kind of an amazing deal. But Red Nuts this week, projection-wise, I mean, you have two questionable guys, Red Nuts, James Cook and Daryl Mooney, but they're probably still going to play. I hate to say it. I know, Wrecking Crew, you may feel like I'm against you because I voted against you last week, but I think his lineup looks better. I think I think I think Wrecking Crew. I think you lose. Nets, you win this one this week. Red Nut's going to win this one by 11. Wrecking Crew, he can only do one cheat code a season, and he did it last week. And that's the only reason that he won. And it's really not that big a deal. But I really hate to say Red Nuts is winning because he doesn't really respond too much, and he's got a winning record. But yeah, that's all I got. Wrecking Crew, you smell like hot dog water this week. You're not going to win it. Nuts wins it. That's it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. This is our last remaining. This is week 6 recap, and appreciate it. And thank you. And this week 6 recap. Let's just see what happens, guys. Let's just see what happens. What's a happening? Let's see what's a happening. Yeah, I mean that's all I got. That's all I got. Starla, hey girl, what up, Starla? And all right, talk to you guys later.